can excel. I open the door to heaven and hell.
All right, I'm Jay Stone. Welcome back to another episode of my show. And I got Connor from All Hail the Yeti on the phone. He's got a brand new album coming out in April. And he's just calling in so we can discuss it a little bit. So welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So you got a brand new album coming out. This is the second album?
Yeah, this will be our sophomore. On April 7th, it releases in North America, called Screams of Black Wilderness. From the Black Wilderness, sorry.
Cool. I got to hear the first track, so I'm gonna play it a little later in the show. I know if you guys pre-order the album, I guess on iTunes, they get that right away.
Yeah, iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music, you can stream it. So if you're an Apple Music listener, you can listen to the song without having to pay for it, I guess.
Cool.
I mean, you're sort of paying, but you know.
Right.
And then every other outlet, Amazon, iTunes, and then I don't believe it's on Spotify yet.
Cool. But when you mentioned like the iTunes music thing, the Apple Music,
yeah,
have you experienced dealing with that already and getting paid for that type of stuff? Because the industry's definitely changed.
Not yet. I mean, this is, like I said, this will be our second record, and we were on a different label before, and we didn't really ever, it was before Apple Music kind of came out. So this is our first run through with them.
Right. So
we'll see.
Hopefully it'll bring some, record sales, and at least, if people are listening to it, on a regular basis, it's a good way to get some royalties out of it anyway.
Totally.
So how many songs are on the brand new CD?
There is 12 on this one.
When you when you release this in like other countries, there going to be any bonus tracks or anything like that?
I mean, not yet. I mean, we're just releasing it as it is right now. We didn't think like, it was like these songs are bonus enough, so we don't really need to give any bonus out yet. So
right, no, I hear you.
But no, we'll probably do some reissues like later on, like through the cycle, and we've been doing some cover songs and stuff like that. So I imagine the label's gonna want to like add a couple to it.
Cool. Now, did you guys produce it, or did you have a specific producer?
No, actually, we produced the songs to the point, and then Matt Hyde came in and took over when we got into pre-production for the record.
Cool. So how long did the recording process take? I mean, besides pre-production.
We started in like mid-August, and he was kind of back and forth with the new Deftones record. So we all live in the same area, so we were just kind of, when we had time, we did the initial, drum tracks and bass and guitar at NRG Studios in North Hollywood. And then we just kind of, when we had time, we went back and did the guitar. And so it was a little bit of a process, not because it was, for any other reason than schedules, right? So
right.
He was dealing with the Deftones stuff. So when he was off time for that, it was back to us. And so I think it was probably about a couple months by the time it was completely finished.
Cool. Now,
yeah.
I really dig the logo. I mean, I knew of you guys, but I more so when Ricky started saying, "Hey, man, play these guys." So I really started to become a fan. So I appreciate him,
man.
Doing that.
Yeah,
for
me too, man.
But
it's always great when people are. I mean, I'm the same kind of way with bands. Like if I hear something that I like that no one's heard of, I'm like, "Oh, you got to check this band out." They're all,
Right.
So
I mean, that's the way to do it. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
So your logo, I mean, I love that. Did you guys design that, or did you have an artist do that for you?
That was originally the band was just called Yeti, and I wanted it to look like an old, the band, like a Yes logo, or like an old 70s. Like that was the kind of vibe we were going for.
Right.
And then when we changed the name to All Hail the Yeti, I still wanted Yeti to be like the prominent thing in the title. So, my brother does all of our design work. He does all of our merch designs, all of our album artwork. And he, I told him what I wanted, and he came up with that. So we kind of collaborated on it, but I would give him the credit for designing it for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one, and I think you hit that. I think you totally hit that vibe that you were looking for.
Totally.
Now that you said that, I can picture in the logo right now, because I don't have it pulled up, of course, but I can picture that, where you said the, yes and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
It was like those old 70s watercolor painting album covers, like Frazetta style, and that was just kind of like, that's the art that I appreciate, and my brother's big into that stuff too. So we're just like, let's do something like that, and that's basically what happened.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And is your brother a musician too, or is he strictly an
artist?
He is.
No, he is actually. Him and I used to play in a band together for years. I was living in LA. He was in Vancouver, so we were doing that back and forth kind of thing. But he moved to LA finally, and we just, Yeti started taking off a little bit more. And I'm like, look, dude, you go do your thing. And he started his own band, and he doesn't play much anymore. Still around the house and by himself and privately, but he's definitely easily one of my biggest influences for sure.
Cool. Now, you mentioned the name was just Yeti. What made you guys add that to the, All Hail to it?
Honestly, we were, for some reason at one point, one of our shows we were playing in Hollywood, my guitar player at the time, the guy that I started the band with, KJ, he started yelling into the mic, chanting "All Hail the Yeti" to the crowd, and they started chanting it back. And it was just this kind of back and forth thing. And then, after the show was done, we man, that was pretty cool. When these people are yelling this shit back. And I said, why don't let's change the name. Let's change it to this, because, Yeti is great, but this is bigger than that, and so it was just kind of, when I said it, he instantly had fucking loved it. And so we just were like, you know, it's going to be better. There was a band in England called Yeti as well. And we didn't want to have to deal with any, you know, legal shit with them. So we're just like, let's just change it now before anything happens. And that was it.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually a really good story. I dig it.
Yeah. And at the time we had some merch made too that had All Hail the Yeti all the way across it. And so it was like, oh, well, we already got merch made, you know, let's do it. It's ready.
When you guys play live, you guys got an excellent sound. I mean, do you guys have your own sound engineer and stuff like that?
We try to, you know, as much as we can. Obviously, it's expensive to bring somebody out on the road with you.
Right. When you were talking about the new CD, and you got a show coming up right before that, so
we're playing
like the
the
CD launch?
Yeah, we're doing the Whiskey A Go-Go on April 7th, and the record comes out the day before. So anybody in LA that's going to come to that show will be able to, you know, purchase the record and the vinyl the day before it releases. So we're doing that with some friends of ours from LA, a band called We Are the Riot, which is Mikey and Miguel from Cold Chamber. It's their other band.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've heard the name. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're doing that. And then another band, they're friends of ours too, called Sisters of the Black Moon. They're kind of a, I want to say that, like, kind of throwback 70s Zeppelin-y with a girl singer, or Janis Joplin kind of sounding, but good riffs and, like, you know.
Are you guys going to go out on tour to support the new CD? I'm sure you guys are planning something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're just like, we're in the middle right now, just kind of waiting for, you know, the yes or no on a couple different tours. So I'm not at liberty to kind of discuss them at this point, but yeah, as soon as the record comes out, it's going to be full force for at least a year.
Can you say, are you going to be a headlining tour or?
No, we're going to try and open, you know, or support bigger bands for a while.
Cool.
You know,
cool.
It gives us the chance to open, you know, broaden our audience, and it's just better for us. You know, we'll be probably doing some like headlining shows, like off dates in between, you know, on days off. But for the most part, we're going to be looking to be supporting other, you know, bigger bands at that point.
Cool. Just going back on the name change thing real quick.
Yeah.
When you were Yeti, were you already signed at that point? And
no, we weren't.
Okay, so yeah, there wasn't a problem with the record label and records being made.
No,
and all that.
No. They were when the first label came and, you know, got involved, we had already like long switched our name. Cool. It was just like we were at a point in like we did an EP, and like our original EP had just Yeti on it, and we at that point we're like let's switch it now before, because we started doing really well in Hollywood and in LA and stuff like that. And at that point we're like we need to switch it now. Our lawyer was like, it's going to become a problem, so let's just deal with it now before anything happens.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Now you have you scream and you sing, so vocally, I mean, is it hard to maintain that while you're out on the road?
Yeah, 100%. It's a struggle, honestly, every day.
Do you warm up beforehand, or is it something that you can't do that? You just have to go out and do the show?
No, you know what? Definitely like I've learned. You know, I've been doing this a long time, and as I got more into it and taking it a little bit more seriously, you know, and been told by a few different, you know, screamers / singers that, you know, you got to take care of your voice. Like, dudes got to change their strings on their guitar and their heads on their drums, and you know, it's the same thing with our vocal cords and our voice. You know, you have to take care of yourself. And in the last couple tours, I've been, you know, doing a lot, like warming up. You know, my voice starting to go. I don't talk for a day.
Right.
You know, gargling with salt water, and like, you know, a lot of the things that people tell you to do are actually not really good to do. And they're saying, like, drink a lot of tea, but tea is very acidic, so it dries your throat out, your vocal cords.
Yeah, see a lot of